What's up, everybody? Cody Bidlow of sprintingworkouts.com and ATHLETE.X. Today we're going to be talking about a workout I'm doing today, my outdoor season opener that was this past weekend, and a couple other thoughts. Here with the homie Hunter, getting some work in, so let's get to it. Did start with some wickets, so I got 185 for 3, 195 for 3, 205 for 3, 215 for 3, 225 for 2, and 230 for 2, measured in centimeters. Now on the last couple, I don't know if you can see it, but I got some cones down there, and I'm using the cones because I don't have the mini hurdles, but I want to teach my brain and my body to be able to pick that foot up, close that knee during the swing phase so that I can get my leg to swing through quicker without putting any effort into it. You know, the shorter a lever is, the easier it's going to be able to swing through. So we want to shorten the lever as much as we can, meaning we want to bend the knee, get the calf to the hamstring as much as we can during the middle of the swing phase. And so to do that, you know, it's one thing if you're out there sprinting and you're just telling yourself, oh, I'm going to try and do this. It's a lot easier if you use an environmental constraint like the wickets. So I've progressed from just using the soccer cones, which is what I've been using for a long time. They're lower, they're easier to go over. I think they're a good way to introduce wickets. But now, in the last few segments of the sprints with the wickets, I'm adding these taller cones that are about 7 inches tall, and that's forcing me to not only get up in the air, get over them, sprint tall, but also to close that knee angle so the leg swings through quickly. Now I just did a flying 20. It was an okay time. I feel kind of beat up from the meet and from training and stuff like that, but still managed to hit 196 on that fly 20, a little bit better than I expected. So I'm gonna do another one, see how it feels, and I'll check in with you right after that. All right, so I just did that other fly 20. I did a pretty gradual buildup because my adductor's been bothering me, and I noticed that when I do hard accelerations, that's when my adductors and hip flexors are most at risk. So I did a gradual buildup into a fly 20, and I did the fly 20 at like 95, 98%, something like that. It was not all out, but I still was able to get under 2 seconds on both of them. I ran 196 on the first one with a 0.96 and a 1.0 split, and then I ran 197 on the second one with a 0.97 and a 0.99, but because of how, you know, if it's like 0.999, it'll round up the total, you know, distance for that whole fly, or the total time. So even though it was 97 and 99, they round up and it's a 197. So basically I ran the same time for both. Adductor feels okay. My upper calf, which has been bothering me since I started jump training, it feels okay right now as well. So I survived the session. I did about 5 wicket sprints, and those, you know, at first it was kind of, my leg was hurting and didn't feel that great, but I just kept doing them, kept staying relaxed, and eventually my body warmed up to where I was able to do these flying sprints. Now, if you are banged up or you have something going on and you don't feel like it's safe to get high intensity sprinting workouts in, then we need to get our intensity from somewhere. So in my case, I decided I would add in some lifting to offset the fact that I'm not doing as many sprinting workouts during the week. I'm not getting my intensity from sprinting, at least up until today. So earlier in the week, I went to the meet on Saturday, jumped 1250 and ran 1087. Sunday, I went to the gym, did some glute work, some power lunges with dumbbells, a few other exercises. And then the next day I came out, I ran 3 250s at about 70 to 75%, so just cruising. I did feel a little bit of lactic type work. Not that that's a super, you know, scientific term or whatever, but you know what I mean. I felt the burn. So I feel like I got something out of that workout, even though it was, you know, low intensity and I wasn't sprinting per se, but still got some work in. Tuesday I went to the gym, I did some more glute work, and then I did hex bar deadlift, paired with low box step-ups. Oh yeah, I did step-ups the previous time at the gym, but they were a higher box, 12 inches. And then the next time I went to the gym, I did 6-inch box, but a higher weight. Then the next day I came out and I just basically, what did I do? I just did a warm-up. Then today came out, did the Wickets, did the flying 20s. And overall, I'd say, all things considered, I'm pretty happy with the session. I feel like if I can go faster than 10 meters per second and not be going all out, that's a good place to be. And there's a couple benefits to not always maxing out your sprints. Just because you're not hurt doesn't mean you can't go 95, 98% some days. I think there's value in running slightly submaximal, meaning you're trying to run fast. You're not holding back, but you're also making absolutely sure that you're not straining. When you hit 100% effort, that's where it's a very fine line between running as fast as you can versus straining and slowing down as a result of being, tightening up because you're trying too hard. So I didn't want to get into that zone because that's when injuries are, a much higher risk. You're at a higher risk of getting an injury, especially if you're already dinged up from training or competing. So today was a perfect day to do Wickets because Wickets are submaximal. You're not going to ever sprint 100% through Wickets. And then doing flying sprints at a very slightly submaximal pace allowed me to get a good quality workout in, get a good amount of sprints in, but not put myself in a worse position than when I showed up as far as injuries are concerned. My body feels better than when I showed up. I'm sure tomorrow I'll feel sore, but I was able to get through it and do a workout, but work around the issues that I'm having at the moment. Now, if I had a hamstring issue, probably wouldn't sprint because hamstrings get lit up by sprinting. I didn't do intense starts or aggressive starts because my adductor's bothering me. So you find ways to work around whatever may be bothering you at any given point in time, and you do your best to train within that. Sometimes you may not be able to sprint at all, but like I said, that's where we can go to the gym, get our intensity there, and then just do low intensity running or drills or bounding or whatever you can do that doesn't cause pain, and still be able to maintain a good stimulus of training, be able to maintain those high intensity qualities that you've built up over time. So as you go through your season, keep in mind that not every sprint day has to be completely 100%. You can run 98%. You can run fast and relaxed. And there's benefits to that because if you can learn to be relaxed at 95%, then you can learn to be relaxed at 97 or 98%. Once you master that, then you can keep adding intensity without straining. And if we can run as fast as we can without straining, that's where we're going to see our best performances, and that's where we're going to stay healthy. The reason I didn't actually get like a real injury at this last meet, even though my adductor was cramping up on me, was because I ran relaxed. And if you look at the video of the race, you can tell that I had more gas in the tank. I had more intensity left within me. But I didn't tap into that because I wanted to stay safe. I didn't care what the time would be. I cared that I would get through the race, stay healthy, and be able to continue to train and continue on, toward the rest of the season. So it worked out. Still ran a pretty good time, I'd say. It was faster than any time I ran last year. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good position, Not going to any Olympics or anything with a 10.87, but if I can run 10.87 relaxed, I think that means I can run 10.7, 10.6, 10.5. So hopefully I can get a new PR this year in the 100. And I think if I keep on the path of running relaxed, not pushing it too hard to where I get injuries, that's where I'm going to see my best performances. So from here on out, I got a weekend of stuff I got to do with my team. So I don't expect to train much this weekend, and that's going to give me an opportunity to recover a little bit more from these little aches and pains I got going on, so that next week I can be in good shape. And if I feel good, I'll be running at the GCU Invitational at Grand Canyon University, my alma mater, and hopefully I can put on a good show there for me, for my fiance, and for you guys. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So just to recap, today ended up doing Wickets starting at 185 centimeters going all the way to 230 centimeters with higher cones at the end of the sprint. So I was working on getting that foot to tuck up high, get calf to hamstring, shorten that lever so you can get quicker turnover. And then came back, did a couple fly 20s, 95, 98%, something like that. broke 2 seconds on both of them, so I'm happy with where I'm at. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you have a great day. If you didn't check out my last video, make sure to check it out. It's about block start settings. You know, may not work for everybody, but I think the stuff I talk about in that video will give you a good idea of how to at least start with getting your block settings properly set up, and over time you can adjust it and find the right settings that are perfect for you from there. But check out that video. And also, if you're on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. I just started one up. I had one before, but I felt like I was getting shadow banned or something because I was getting 0 views on a lot of the videos. So I made a new account, and we'll see how that goes. So anyways, it's Cody Bidlow with SprintingWorkouts.com and ATHLETE.X. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out.